All right, let's go. 305, UFC 305 here, August 17th, Saturday night for us in America, Sunday the 18th for those in Australia. We got Dricus du Plessis taking on Israel Adesanya for the middleweight championship. I'm looking at this right now, and Israel's ranked number 2 in the division. I don't know how. He's been out for a whole year, and we've got Robert Whittaker coming off some good wins, and other people have done some more impressive stuff than Izzy. Sean Strickland, for example. I see that Izzy's already throwing around some more racism stuff this week. We haven't even stepped foot into the actual fight week at all yet, but, Israel's off on his tangent playing the victim narrative. I don't care, dude. Whether you're black, white, yellow, green, purple, brown, dude, it don't matter. If you run your mouth and cry victim 24/7, I really don't want anything to do with you. I don't care. I want to see you get your ass beat. Dricus, I don't understand, because he said nothing bad about Kamaru. He didn't even say anything bad about Izzy. Didn't even say anything bad about Francis. Nothing at all. All he was stating is that he's going to be the 4th and the first African guy who's been trained in Africa, who's born and bred in Africa. I don't see anything wrong with that. Wouldn't you want that to be a bigger deal? Because of what that could bring to the entire continent of Africa if they get some representation. Yes, maybe it's through Dricus, the white guy, but he's bringing some name value to the country of South Africa, which then will bring some notoriety and some acclaim to the rest of the country, because I know guys come down there to train in South Africa from other countries. What's wrong with that? We don't want these gyms to elevate. We just want to go over to City Kickboxing, which isn't even in Africa. We want to go down to Killcliff and train with, Trevor Whitman over there for Usman in America. Like, yes, these guys come from African heritage, but they're not born and bred. Francis didn't train in Africa for his fights. That doesn't mean he's not African. Like, what are we talking about here? These guys are representing Africa, much like Bilal is representing Palestine. Like, he is from a Palestinian family. Yes, he was born and raised in America. I don't see anything wrong with that. Dricus's point is just like, hey guys, we're training down here in South Africa. I've got my gym. I'm trying to hype up my other guys. There's Cameron Simon, who's also in the UFC from over there. This should be something positive, and Izzy is spinning it to a negative light. Dricus isn't over here like, I'm the only real African guy. Israel, he doesn't count, man. Francis doesn't count, man. He said he's going to be the 4th, but the real African guy, the guy who's training down there, who lives there now. What's wrong with that? If Israel loves Africa so much, doesn't he want to bring some notoriety and bring some unity to the country and to the continent, and have these guys training and have more UFC fighters coming out of Africa that you're interested in as prospects as a fighter? Israel, you? Or no, we're just going to play this race game. Listen, whatever, I don't care. I think the fight's going to be interesting. Dricus has a wild, crazy style, and Israel is really tight with his kickboxing. Very accurate striker. I'm interested in seeing the fight. I'm excited to see the fight. I think Dricus is going to get it done. I think he has a sloppy, crazy style, but he has the intellect to mix it up, much like he did with Sean Strickland. That fight wasn't going great with him. So he mixed it up, put it together, and finished the fight on top of those, at the end of those rounds. I think that he can get to Israel because he's got heavy hands. So does he have the cleanest, crispest striking? No, but he just walks forward on you like a zombie. And I think he'll walk his way right into some takedowns, take Izzy down. Will he finish him? I think if he gets it to the ground, there's a good chance that he finishes him, because he's got solid grappling, decent jiu-jitsu. He's got some submission victories. The thing is, can he ground and pound TKO him out of there? I think that's possible. What I'm interested to see, and how successful is he going to be in the striking. Will he be able to just walk forward, or is he going to be able to snipe him and get him out of there? Maybe so. But I'm confident in Dricus. He's been active. Izzy has not been active. He's taken almost an entire year off since that Sean Strickland loss. And he's kind of been running his mouth the whole time. Where's he at mentally? Where's he at physically? I see his gyno titties coming back. So, take that for what you will. Steroids, I mean, I don't know. You know, it's just a symptom of steroids, but what do I know? Anyway, on to the next one. Battle of Down Under. Kai Kara France out of New Zealand. Steve Erceg out of Australia. Fun flyweight scrap here. Kai Kara France, kind of marauding type of fighter. Steve Erceg, tough, gritty boxer, clean striking. Kai Kara France, more of the wild man, more the... Maybe from the outside you see him as more well-rounded, but Steve Erceg has great takedown defense and good grappling as he displayed in his fight against Pantoja, which he arguably won. I'm excited to see this one. I think it's going to get scrappy. I think these guys are going to go to war. Look out for this one. I think Steve Erceg can get it done just because I think he's got the better composure. He's shown that he's had better composure. He's shown to have the better chin and better durability so far. That Pantoja fight was a pretty rough one. Pantoja was coming forward on him, and Erceg was taking those shots and not going down. I was impressed by that. Kind of showed that he's got the grit and got the ability, the toughness to take it and go through something and still land clean shots and still be successful in a fight. I'm going to take Erceg in this one. Nothing much more to say specifics. On to the next. Gamrot Hooker. Gamrot, I feel like he's going to get this one done. Hooker isn't in the same place physically as he was 4 or 5 years ago when he was fighting in the Apex, when he was fighting Paul Felder, putting on just absolute beatdowns. Wars. I think he's been through too many wars. I know Justin Gaethje talks a lot about those wars, but Dan Hooker has been through some damn wars, man. Jalen Turner fight, the Dustin Poirier fight, the Paul Felder fight. Those were fucking wars, man. Gamrot, I think, is just too technical. But Hooker's got that kind of rangy, gutty, kind of wild man still, kind of clean and technical, but he can get wild when he needs to, and I think he's got a chance to finish Gamrot, but Gamrot's just on another level with his grappling right now. I'd rather Hooker win. I want Hooker to win, but I gotta go with Gamrot here. There's not much to say. I think he's good enough on the feet to get in on the takedowns, to get close and get those takedowns. Again, I don't want him to win. I think he's gonna win. I just hope they put on a good performance. Striker versus grappler. Make it interesting, Dan Hooker, I hope. Show out for the home area crowd. We'll see what happens. Alright, Tai Tuivasa versus Rozenstruik. Good slanging and banging type matchup. Tai Tuivasa looking to get a win. Get back in the win column. Show up. Put on for the Australian crowd. Rozenstruik trying to get his name back in the, back to the round table, so to speak. Put his sword down. Make a name for himself once again. Put himself back in title contention. I think he's more technical, obviously, than Tai. Tai is the better slugger, tougher guy. More of the gutsy, gritty fighter who can go anywhere, take it anywhere. Get you out of there at any time. Rozenstruik's cleaner, got the more technical striking. I just think Tai's going to put it on him. I don't think Rozenstruik is as tough as he needs to be for the heavyweight division. I mean, one punch can put you out at any moment. Any of these guys can thump. But I don't think he's going to threaten Tai with the takedowns that I think Tai's going to tee off on him. He knows he's not going to get taken down. And I think this is one of those fights that he's going to win, and everybody's going to go, ooh, Tai Tuivasa's back in the win column. Ooh, he's coming back, baby. He's always exciting to watch. I think Rozenstruik can put him out of there, but he's just not fast enough and urgent enough in these fights to get these guys out of there. He fights too technical. He's got a striking athleticism that a lot of those guys don't have coming over from kickboxing. He just doesn't really use it in a heavyweight manner. He kind of uses it like a light heavyweight or a middleweight, kind of slower, prodding, more methodical, when he should just be going out there swinging on guys with more, a diversity of strikes. I'm going to take Tai in this one. I think he's going to get it done. I hope he gets it done. It'll be exciting. get a shoey going, get the crowd pumped up for the rest of the card, because Gamrot and Hooker's probably going to be a downer. I hope it's not, but who knows. Li Jingliang versus Prates. Good matchup in the welterweight division. Li's coming off a long layoff, and Prates is on the come up, ready to kill some dudes. And I think he's the better, well-rounded fighter from what I've seen. Prates is definitely the more dangerous guy, but man, Li's got heavy hands, man. I think this one, again, is it like a super stacked pay-per-view? Is it a great pay-per-view opener with a ranking on it? No, but it's what I'm looking for when I'm looking at pay-per-view value. These guys can slug it out, and these guys are both dangerous fighters. Prates has the more wider variety of dangerous strikes. He throws elbows, he throws knees to the body. Like, this guy's what you want to see when you see a martial arts dangerous killer, dude. Coming out of that Fighting Nerds camp. I'm not sure who to go with. I know this is going to be a war. It could be a 5-second war where they just both come and sling it for 5 seconds and somebody goes down. Or it could be a 3-round war where they just can't put each other down. Prates has good jiu-jitsu. Li Jingliang has good wrestling. Top-heavy pressure. Does he use it a lot? No, but I know it's there. I think they're going to slug it out on the feet. I think this card overall, main card anyway, very solid in terms of interesting matchups. Grappler versus striker with Gamrot Hooker. Kai Kara France, the Marauder, versus Steve Ursay, the more technical fighter. Tai Tuivasa, the slinger, slugger type. And Rosenstruik, the more technical kickboxer type from heavyweight with heavy hands. Li, the definitely more well-rounded, more, I guess, better boxing, I would say, for sure, but heavy hands, and Prates just dangerous. Annihilator type. And then Dricus du Plessis, the sloppy, crazy, wild, get all over you, get a finish at no matter what cost, versus Israel Adesanya, the sniper. Look forward to this fight card. Whew. Alright, on to the prelims. They're really not looking all that great. Oh snap. Can't load. Here we go. Starting from the bottom, now we're here. Good grief. Stuart Nicole versus Jesus Aguilar. Jesus Aguilar hasn't really impressed me all that much. He's not super boring, which is decent. Stuart Nicole making his debut. Song Kanan versus Ricky Glenn. Ricky Glenn moving up from lightweight. Kind of an old guy on his way out. Song Kanan has heavy hands. I've taken Song Kanan in that. Tom Nolan, Alex Reyes. Alex Reyes, brother of Dominic Reyes. Hasn't really done much in the UFC, and Tom Nolan's making his debut. Should be a layup fight. This is one of those layup fights where I feel like Tom Nolan's just not ready for the UFC or something. I don't know. Who knows? It's MMA. These matchups are not super exciting on the come up. Jack Jenkins, Herbert Burns, another layup fight, which I feel like something weird's going to happen and Jack Jenkins isn't going to win. But Jack Jenkins, the leg kicking machine, the crisp technical striking on the feet. I like him. I think he's going to get the win. I'm interested to see that fight. Look forward to that one. Casey O'Neill versus Luana Santos. Luana's hot. Casey O'Neill should beat her up. Will she? I don't know. Casey O'Neill kind of was looking good at first, but just disappointing overall. Not as exciting as she could have been, should have been. Yep, Luana Santos is pretty hot. That's pretty much why I'm interested in seeing that fight. All right, Josh Culibao versus Ricardo Ramos. Josh Culibao is probably the better, tougher guy overall. Ricardo Ramos, kind of a puss bag after that last tap out that I saw him against. I don't really know, don't really care. He can be exciting. I hope this one's exciting. He's shown potential to be a finisher, Ricardo Ramos has, but Josh Culibao's kind of a smothering fighter, featherweight. Whatever. Junior Taufo and Walter Waka. It might be a decent slanging and banging type matchup to get you pumped up for the main card, but I just don't really care. Junior Tafa kind of learning MMA as he goes, and Walter Waka, same thing. Like, what the hell? You just got in because of Johnny Walker? Like, good for you, buddy. Okay. So look forward to some good, maybe some good scraps, but don't expect the best out of this one. The card isn't phenomenal in terms of the prelims, but I can see it going all right. Some good fun fights in there, but don't get your hopes up too high. Anyway, I'm just excited for the week of the build-up, the weigh-ins, the press conferences, what Dricus is going to say to Izzy, because Dricus is kind of coming into this role of master manipulator, master, poking the bear type. I like it, man. It's fun. It's interesting. He's an interesting character. He doesn't really talk a lot of trash. He just kind of pokes you with one-liners or crazy reactions, facial reactions, whatever, man. So it all goes down on Saturday. Battle of the races, according to Izzy. But let's be honest, it has nothing to do with that. Israel's just running his mouth, a crybaby rich boy. Nobody likes a sniveling rich kid, Izzy. Let's go, Dricus. Let's get it done. Smash this guy. Get him out of here. Let Israel move up in another loss. Move up. Go fight Pereira. Get his ass beat again. On to the next. UFC 305.